Hey everyone, this is Keith Scott from out in Sydney, Australia. I'm one of the voices of Bullwinkle J. Moose. It's time to watch Relentless and Unstoppable. And so give it up for your main hosts, Douglas Kenny and Andy McPhee.
Hey everybody, this is Doug Kenny and welcome to Relentless and Unstoppable. We have another amazing guest coming on the channel today, so please hit like and subscribe. And after this episode, please stay tuned to the RNU channel for more amazing guests. Let's get this on!
Hey everybody, how you doing? Just a quick little share of why I started Relentless and Unstoppable. It was for one very simple reason, because of Doug Kenny. Nothing to do with me at all, zero. I was just coaching Doug, and he took on the coaching and mentoring, and he made all the changes. He took all the suggestions from his parents as well as my coaching, but it was all about Doug, his breakthrough and his weight loss, his willingness to accept that he is dealing with high functioning autism and other issues, but he's never quit, he's never given up. So we did one interview with him to share his story, and then we decided to start interviewing other people. And Doug has now taken over the whole channel, and he does all the interviews, he runs everything. He's just an amazing young man. So RNU was born from simply what an amazing young man Doug is, and his story needed to be shared.
Hey everybody, this is Doug Kenny from Relentless and Unstoppable, and today we have former NASCAR competitor Stephen Leicht with us. Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you doing?
Doing fabulous. Where are you at the moment?
Currently at home on my patio. We just watched the end of the Xfinity race on the couch with our little one and ate some dinner and just hanging out.
Yeah, I've been to one of those Xfinity races at Phoenix Raceway a few years back. It's yeah, there's been a lot of interesting things going on lately in the sport, you know.
Yeah, it feels like it changes every day. So always a new headline or a new story or new rules or something.
Yeah. So everybody, just a background on Stephen. He's a former competitor in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, although back then it was the Busch Series, and he's a one-time winner in that series, and he won for Robert Yates during the final years of the team's participation in the sport, and then things seemed to go downhill from there on. So Stephen, tell us a bit about your upbringing.
As far as the race stuff goes, I started off like most kids do nowadays. When I was 5-6 years old, my dad put me in a quarter midget on dirt. The ones that without the wings that had seatbelts because they were safer, and then I worked our way into go-karts and pavement champ karts, and raced a lot of road courses growing up, and on the go-kart side of things. And then when I was 12 years old, my dad got me a full-size late model. We went and ran that for several years, all the way until I was about 16, 17 years old. And then I got invited to my first gong show, which would have been for Waltham Racing in the ASA series. And I ran 2 years in that, won the championship in 2005 with them, and then got invited to another gong show with Robert Yates Racing at one of their gong shows, and ended up getting a part-time ride in 2006. And at the end of 2006, I ended up getting a full-time ride in 2007 with them, which was my only full-time year I ever ran as far as being in something competitive and running from start to finish every race for an entire season. And then after that, it was part-time here, part-time there. Never really had a chance to go full-time racing again just because of sponsorship issues. Unfortunately for me, when I won that race in Kentucky, back in the early 2000s, coming up to the mid 2000s, if you want to race, I mean, you were pretty much guaranteed you were going to have a ride somewhere. Somebody was going to pick you up. Unfortunately, at the end of 2007 and between 2007 and 2008, the economy kind of really took a hard hit, and it became more about the teams were having trouble finding sponsors, and it started to become no longer about the talent level as opposed to who could write a check. And nowadays you see, a lot of guys getting rides because they've got big sponsor dollars behind them. And, unfortunately for me, I just, one of those things you say, well, I was 5 years too early or 5 years too late. And it's almost like I was right in the middle, and it just didn't swing my way. But, fortunately my dad and I, we went and bought a late model stock, an ASA late model stock. So we've been playing around with that the last couple of years, just having fun with it. But other than that, it's about all that's going on right now.
Gee, that's all we have for Relentless and Unstoppable. So tune into the next episode to hear more amazing stories from amazing guests. This is Keith Scott from Sydney, Australia, saying so long, and I'm smarter than the average bear. Gee.